Bitterness often comes from misunderstanding where true support really comes from. Real, dependable support, the kind that's there in the quiet hours of the night or during a lonely afternoon, rarely comes solely from family. Family can love you, but they can't always be present or reliable when life throws challenges at you. Instead, it comes from 5 sources that are often overlooked until it's too late. These 5 pillars form the secret backbone of a peaceful, independent life well into your 70s and beyond. They are subtle, steadfast, and unwavering. They don't let you down, don't drift away, and never make you feel like a burden. Stay with me, because what I'm about to share could completely change how you see aging, independence, and the power you truly hold within yourself. Understanding these supports can mean the difference between a life of quiet worry and a life of confidence, freedom, and dignity. Reaching your 70s makes the ability to move freely, independently, and without constant assistance one of the most essential forms of support you can have. Physical mobility is more than walking, it's freedom. It's dignity. It's the ability to make choices in your day-to-day life without relying on someone else to be there for you every step of the way. Imagine being able to get out of bed on your own, make a cup of tea, prepare a simple meal, or even step outside to feel the morning sun on your face without asking for help. That independence brings emotional reassurance and reduces the fear of being a burden. When your body can move, your mind feels lighter, calmer, and more in control. Mobility doesn't mean running marathons or doing acrobatics. It's about protecting your joints, maintaining balance, and keeping muscles strong enough to trust your own legs. Simple habits, stretching each morning, walking 15 to 20 minutes a day, doing light resistance exercises, or practicing balance routines, can make a tremendous difference. Small, consistent actions compound into lasting independence. Psychologically, mobility combats the fear of helplessness. When your body becomes dependent, your confidence and sense of self shrink. You might start avoiding outings or declining invitations, not because you're uninterested, but because you fear not being able to manage. That's not aging, that's surrendering to fear. Take Harold, 78, a man I met walking laps in a park in Florida, cane in hand, rain or shine. The moment I stop walking, he said, is the moment I start waiting for help. I don't want to wait. I want to live. His mobility isn't perfect, but it's his, and it gives him peace. He drives to the grocery store, visits friends on Sundays, and climbs the steps to his porch with pride. Not because someone made it easier for him, but because he refused to stop moving. Strong legs, a stable core, and reliable balance provide independence that family may not always be able to offer. And here's the hidden bonus: mobility builds confidence. Each time you move freely, you reinforce your sense of self-reliance. It's a physical support system that also nurtures emotional strength. Even small steps, stretching while waiting for coffee, walking one extra lap around your hallway, lay the foundation for lasting freedom. These tiny, consistent efforts add up, creating a backbone of support that walks beside you silently, reliably, day after day. Peace of mind in your 70s doesn't come from having the most money, it comes from clarity, simplicity, and knowing you can manage your resources. Financial complexity, multiple bank accounts, unpaid bills, credit cards, subscriptions, investments, can weigh heavily, creating stress that erodes your sense of stability. Simplifying your finances is one of the strongest forms of support you can rely on, because it's entirely under your control. Lorraine, 74, a widow and former librarian, downsized her home, eliminated unnecessary bills, and simplified her financial life. She even started a small, freedom fund, adding a few dollars here and there. She told me, "I used to fear the mail. Now, I open each envelope calmly, knowing I'm in control." That is the power of simplicity. It removes uncertainty, frees your mind, and gives you a sense of mastery over your own life. Simplicity doesn't mean living without comfort, it means intentional living. It's about knowing where your money goes, covering your needs, and eliminating unnecessary complications that steal peace of mind. Psychologically, financial clarity reduces anxiety, improves sleep, and allows you to focus on experiences rather than worry. When your money is organized, you don't need to rely on anyone else to manage it. You don't have to call your children every time a bill is confusing. You don't have to wait for someone else to make sense of your finances. You regain autonomy. And in your 70s, autonomy is invaluable, it's freedom wrapped in security. After 70, one of the most reliable sources of support doesn't come from your children, neighbors, or even your doctor, it comes from the habits you practice every single day. Not flashy workouts or expensive supplements, but small, steady actions that maintain your body and mind in working order. This is the foundation of true independence. Think of it like building a personal safety net. Walking each morning, stretching your muscles, drinking enough water, taking medications on time, eating foods that nourish you instead of just fill you up, all of these contribute to a steady, reliable rhythm of life. Over time, these actions become automatic, reducing the mental load of constantly making decisions about your health. Routine has a hidden, profound power. It eliminates what psychologists call decision fatigue. When you know exactly what you need to do each day to stay healthy, you free up mental energy for other parts of life, joy, creativity, connection. It's not just about the body, it's about your sense of self, your autonomy, and your confidence. Let me share Frank's story. Frank, 81, a retired electrician, follows a health routine religiously. Every morning at 6 a.m., he makes a cup of green tea, does 15 minutes of chair stretches, takes his morning medications, and walks for 30 minutes around his neighborhood. It's not about exercise, he told me. It's about reminding myself every morning that I still matter. Frank isn't training for a marathon, he's preserving his independence and his identity. What's more, consistent health routines reduce risk of accidents, illness, and forgetfulness. When you exercise balance, strength, and flexibility regularly, your body becomes more predictable and dependable. You're less likely to trip, less likely to feel fatigued, and less likely to rely on someone else for small tasks. Small habits like walking while listening to music, stretching while waiting for the kettle to boil, or practicing breathing exercises by the window can seem minor, but they accumulate into a strong net that supports you physically and mentally. Even on days when motivation is low, routines provide structure. A few deep breaths, a short walk, or a light stretch might feel insignificant, but over weeks and months, these small, deliberate choices create a resilient body and mind. Think of it like creating a well-worn path through a foggy forest. Even when the world feels uncertain, your feet know where to go because you've walked the path every day. This isn't just theory, it's practical empowerment. By sticking to small, achievable health routines, you reduce the need for assistance, you feel more in control, and you reinforce your independence. Your body becomes a source of quiet strength, and in turn, it bolsters your confidence, your courage, and your peace of mind. One of the most underrated forms of support as we age is emotional resilience. Life in your 70s often brings significant losses, friends and loved ones pass away, health can decline, and life circumstances change unexpectedly. Emotional resilience isn't about avoiding sadness or discomfort, it's about experiencing emotions fully while staying grounded and able to move forward. It's the ability to feel deeply without being consumed by those feelings. Eileen, 77, lost her husband 5 years ago. She lives alone, yet every night she lights a candle, not for religious reasons, but as a symbol of presence, continuity, and hope. Some nights she cries, other nights she laughs, and she honors her feelings without letting them overwhelm her. That practice, small and simple as it seems, builds emotional strength. Emotional resilience allows you to handle life's challenges without becoming dependent on others to process your feelings. It's what keeps you steady in the face of loneliness, disappointment, and change. Psychologists explain that resilient individuals experience less anxiety, recover more quickly from setbacks, and maintain better overall health because stress has less of a hold over them. You can cultivate emotional resilience through simple, repeatable habits. Journaling your thoughts, taking walks in nature, listening to music that moves you, or meditating for a few minutes a day are all practices that train your mind to process emotions constructively. Resilience also grows through reflection, reminding yourself of past challenges you've overcome, acknowledging that you survived, and using that knowledge to navigate new difficulties. Consider this: without emotional resilience, even small setbacks can feel monumental. A missed phone call, a cancelled visit, or a minor health issue can trigger disproportionate worry or sadness. But with emotional resilience, these same events are processed calmly. You may feel the disappointment, but it doesn't shake the foundation of who you are. You are able to face hardship, grief, and change with steadiness, clarity, and dignity. The remarkable thing about emotional resilience is that it doesn't rely on external validation. Friends, family, and circumstances may change, but your emotional strength stays with you. Every time you practice patience, self-compassion, or mindfulness, you reinforce a support system that is yours alone, one that no one can take away. By developing this internal stability, you free yourself from dependence and cultivate a sense of peace that carries through the hardest days. Finally, perhaps the most enduring support system is a personal code of values. After 70, when the world feels unpredictable and people sometimes fail you, having a clearly defined set of personal values acts like a compass. It tells you who you are, what matters most, and how you intend to live, regardless of external circumstances. Too often, seniors lose their sense of direction because they've spent decades living according to others' expectations, being the good parent, the faithful worker, or the supportive spouse. But when those roles fade, people are left wondering, who am I really? This is where a personal code becomes indispensable. Howard, in his early 80s, lives by 5 simple principles: speak the truth, don't waste food, return borrowed items, forgive quickly, and sleep with a clear conscience. He doesn't need approval or recognition from anyone. He walks through life with quiet dignity because his actions are guided by values that are meaningful to him. His code gives him inner stability, clarity, and confidence, no matter what changes occur around him. Having a personal code simplifies decision-making. When faced with challenges, setbacks, or moral dilemmas, you already know how you want to respond. You don't lie awake worrying about whether you did the right thing because your values have already answered that question. Your choices become more intentional, your mind less cluttered, and your sense of integrity stronger. Living according to your values also reduces regret and increases life satisfaction. Studies show that seniors with consistent personal principles report lower anxiety, better cognitive health, and a more profound sense of meaning in life. Values anchor you, even when the world shifts, giving you a steadfast inner support system that no one can remove. Importantly, your values are personal. You don't need validation, agreement, or approval. Whether it's honesty, generosity, curiosity, self-respect, or simply treating others with kindness, these principles create a foundation that sustains you even in solitude. When you can look back at 75 or 85 and say, I lived according to my values, you possess a type of success and self-respect that cannot be taken away. It is quiet, enduring, and deeply empowering. As we reach this point in the video, remember something important: aging doesn't take away your strength, it reveals it. The truth is, life after 70 is not about depending on others, feeling forgotten, or waiting for help. It's about discovering the supports that have always been within your reach, the ones that make you resilient, confident, and grounded. Your mobility, your routines, your emotional strength, your financial clarity, and your personal values, these are not just concepts. They are tools. Tools that can help you build a life filled with peace, purpose, and joy, no matter what changes around you. And here's the most powerful thing to take away from today's video. The strongest support system you will ever have is the one you build for yourself. Not because others don't care, but because true independence comes from within, from the habits you strengthen, the choices you make, and the mindset you nurture. So as you move forward, I encourage you to choose one of these 5 supports and start working on it today. Not tomorrow, not someday, today. Small steps create big transformations, especially when taken with intention and self-respect. Thank you so much for spending this time with us. Before you go, tell us in the comments, which support are you planning to strengthen first? Your insight may inspire someone else who needs it today. If this video brought you clarity, comfort, or motivation, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might benefit from it. Your support helps us continue creating content that informs, uplifts, and empowers. Take care of yourself, and remember, you are stronger than you think, more capable than you believe, and more independent than you realize. We'll see you in the next video.